Hello, Dr. Shola Osha. Greg's enabler. I hope you're fine. I'm sure you are good. Sorry for the breaking, whatever. I'm at the club. Today, I just finished a meeting. There's a town hall meeting with the Honorable Minister for States, Mrs. Denis Saraki. And I will be meeting her next week anyway in Abuja. I'm sure you saw my 2 videos about your friend, and like I said, it's important for me to address you specifically. You know all that transpired. In 2019, no, I'm not sure you've seen me for years, until the day Hero's mother died. And Bernard told me, I said, oh, but I didn't really know the Greg's life to that point. But you don't quarrel with the dead or somebody that is grieving. So I tried my possible best to get to Victoria Island that evening. Soaked in my menstruation, tired. I came. And you screamed, where have I been? We laughed, we talked, everybody moved on. Nobody saw any sign. That's how mature I can be when dealing with people. It's the same way I have handled Greg in the industry from numeric till this. Whatever is happening, I can be laughing now, and something is wrong, I will change. I can be disagreeing, and something, if another person is coming and they want to, I will change. And nobody's actually, I saw her laughing now. That's maturity. The next time I would see you was when I called for a meeting. There is Wahala. Again, you all know Bernard. You all know how long he has worked for Greg. How Greg started his Lagos office in that boy's house. How he packed 2 brand new Highlander in his house. Running letter from his house. MBA holder. Running errands. Doing driver work. Doing human resource. Doing everything until the Lagos office became whatever it is. In the maritime industry, was the one handling all the jobs for him. The dirty jobs of carrying women out, that is not my business. But he holds me in high esteem. In fact, the day he was talking about me, before the problem, I was shocked. He said, you in this industry, who does not know you, the kind of work that you have done? The things he was saying, he saw me as a very, very responsible person. I'm sure they have looked for information about me they did not see. What's it concern me? I don't get to life. My work, I go my way. I do my work, I go my way. You don't find me at work, you find me in church. If you don't find me in church, you find me in my house. Anyway, when they were calling, I was in Abuja. And like I said, I mentioned somebody's name, Engineer Usman Abubakar, the personal friend of Bishop President Buhari. At least I've been in that house twice, where Buhari will call him directly. And he will call his son, Lawa Lawa, and that's the end. I've been in that house separately, Chief of Staff, late Chief of Staff, Chief Abakari, will come in there. CG Customs and some powers that be, all their children. Somebody in my industry, I met him there, and the day I sent him the text, I said, where are you? Are you in London? He said, no, it's in Lagos. I said, I need to see you. He gave me an appointment with him for 3 hours. I said, when I saw him, he said, please, what are you doing there? How did you get there? I said, how did you get here? That person used to tell me, who do I want to introduce you to that you don't know yourself? That was where I knew the Honorable Minister. She was in charge of the youth and women cluster for APC. Ask your friend Greg, has he ever picked his phone and called anybody for me to facilitate 1 million naira business? I'm talking about 1 million. But let me go back on track. After Hero's mother's death, Cecilia, that you saw me that night, the only time you heard about me was when I called you that there was a problem. There was a problem because the things they were telling me, they mentioned your nest, which you confirmed. That your home friend naked himself in the office, wanting to sleep with her, and the lady wanted to sue him. Bernard told me and you confirmed. So you probably enabled your friend against your own niece. If your friend of 53 years can disrespect you so much that he naked himself with his niece, with your niece in his own office, you know that if he has access to anybody's child or niece or whatever, he will do same. If somebody is my friend of 5-10 years or even a year, and I call the person my friend, the person's child or anything from the person's custody becomes mine that I must take care of like my own. So if your friend can be so disrespectful to you, to naked himself in an office with your own niece who went to work with him, and you cannot stand for your niece, I can understand why you sold me out. I didn't come for you to protect me. I came to you to say, see Wahala. I have the card of Uzi. Uzeije Ita Awak, the sister of Peace Awak, Greg's girlfriend. And you are all this, whatever. Every man is free to carry girlfriend. It's not a problem for me. But like I said, your friend said there are no evidences. Again, these drivers were the one carrying is the Peace sister for Greg. All the night she went to pass it, and the issue, how it escalated between two sisters, and they were fighting. And Greg knows their father. And I asked Bernard, is their father aware here? They said no, he bought their father a car. Their father is an aviator. And you asked me that day, he said, is their father aware? I didn't want their father to hear. Because how do you handle such a problem within a family? What I know to myself. But this was an issue that was beyond me. Why didn't I go to all the men in the Nigerian maritime industry if I were a careless talker? I have heard in the same place, on the same table, with people who want me to sell Greg out. Not today, not 5 years ago. Even my home boss, Mrs. Fumi Folonsho, never heard anything from me until the escalation. Some people did not even understand the issues. I will defend her behind her because she's my boss. Even Greg did not like her. I know all that he did against her. But I'm not a careless talker. So if I could be so private that I did not talk to my home boss, I did not talk to my own best friend, I did not talk to my own parents, now waiting they keep people with that. I did not understand the danger of keeping quiet. I thought it was diplomacy, and that diplomacy worked against me. Because the person I was dealing with was a gutter person. Was what? A gutter person. So he didn't dirty me, he dirtied himself. His story is out on the lips of everybody. If he has shame, there are certain places where he shouldn't be holding microphone to speak. But you were his enabler. If you have been enabling him against outsiders, you enabled him against your ownness. The record of when I came to your office, when you asked me for a meeting December 26th, I have it. I have the picture of the hospital, everything, the vehicle, everything. We went to Terra Culture, where we sat down. And you were ranting, complaining about how the Hausas have taken over leadership. Is this how we'll be going? Unfortunately, it was an Hausa man that gave me 9.6 billion. I wasn't on the table. It was a man that had barely known me for 3 months. I said, I know a credible consultant. I said, got me how? Why? He recognizes my intelligence. How? And he said, he has investigated me within the massa. I said, how? Where? Who? He mentioned the name. I ran back the next day. I went to Ogbeifun. Who is so and so? As I was talking, the person came in. I said, do you know so and so? He said, yes, it's my uncle, Sokoto Caliphate. The person is a friend to Yusuf Suleiman, our minister for transport when I was entering the industry. He called him and put him on the phone and asked me to speak with him. Introduced me to Senator Yerima. Phone call, they will pick it and call anybody. The godfather that I'm talking about was one who appointed, in quotes, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu next year. So I was busy with my life, busy with my work. I don't get penis is not an asset. If it were an asset, all the women sleeping around for don't make something. And when most of you men want to abuse women that sleeps around, even prostitutes that stand on the road, the question we ask is, who is buying the sex? The man that is buying the sex is the saint, but the women that is offering it, they are the ones you want to shame. So nobody can shame anybody. Moreover, I am not a prostitute. He is the rapist. The same way he naked himself before your niece, which you confirmed the girl was even smarter than me, wanted to sue him. You should have allowed her. But you didn't have the effrontery to confront your own friend and say, this is a mess. You told me it's becoming like a curse. You are tired. When we did not know who to go to, I said, call Dr. Show. Then Bernard suggested. Prince Olaiwola Shitu has been his friend from Port Harcourt for more than 25 years. And because he's a Yoruba man, Because when he did his 68th birthday, he wrote a book. I was at the lunch. I was having issues with Greg. Nobody saw it on my face. Victoria was there. What's my business? I don't know more than 20 girls with them. It's not my business. But inside that book, Prince Olaiwola shared some stories about his growing up experience, how his uncle was killed, and all that. So I said, this one we have sense. That was exactly what I said. He's a Yoruba man. He's had experience. We went to see him 10 p.m. 10 p.m. at Rugby Hotel in Apapa. On that day that me and Bernard were coming back, Bernard's motor had fault. He parked it at Police College in Ikeja because we wanted to save somebody's life. The bastard is wearing suits, raising his shoulder up and down. But the problem that I have with you was that you asked me, this is the end of the year. It's a busy time. I should wait. In January, you will call him. In January, you will call him. I received a call that he was planning with the police. I have everything on record. His daughter called me. They are coming after me. Everything on record. If you call yourself somebody's friend, and it doesn't deem you find you important enough to listen to your counsel, then what kind of friendship do you think you have? Except he's feeding you. Except the person is feeding you, or you are not a man of your own self. I do not care who you are. You call yourself my friend, you're messing up, I'll call your bluff. Even people that are older than me, they know me, I'll say, Daddy, you are wrong. Hey, Oga, this one, you will follow. Oga, no, this is how. Steps of wisdom. If you are a big man, you are so foolish, you think nobody can talk to you in the secret. You wait until your shame comes to the street. Then you will have respect for the friends that really call your bluff in private. Like I said, I'm an extremely private person. But when somebody tried to drag me to the gutter, I go all lengths with them. You didn't deem it fit to say, Greg, we heard what you did. Why do this to them? Even if he's a boyfriend that we fell out. Ask him, have I ever called him for any help in my family? They don't even know him. You asked me, is Peace's father aware? I said no, don't let him know. I wasn't an enabler. It was a time to hand all this rubbish. I had records of what he did against girls in the industry. Front desk, secretary, people that are trying to find their way. Their salary is not about 30,000, but I agree everywhere. You go hotel. If you want all the pictures, you will see it. So all that he did, none of you can call him to order. Then what kind of useless friend are you? So if I had died, you will all pretend as if it was nothing. Abi? You will all pretend as if it was nothing and say, may I so rest in peace. Or what would you have said? Abi, you will say, and I saw a mouth sharp, now she caused some. Or didn't you have the evidences of more and more and more that he has done? That you yourself, you said you were tired. May God not allow many of you die because of what you want to eat. So like I said, there are consequences of his action. He started talking after going diabolical. After doing all sorts, he cannot kill me. Tell him. My grandmother went to the grave with the key of what they did over my life. When people are pursuing my life, their life will be scarce. The life of their children will be scarce. If they are not careful, it gets to a point their child will suddenly die. It's nothing. It's what they do. You use your head to carry it, no concern me. I have not seen it that anybody gang up against. If he's a sitting president of a nation, evil will begin to happen to him. There is nothing you pursue that will work. You can do it 99.9%. When it's remaining 0.001 to be complete, problem will start. I don't fight. I observe him, the life of his children. He's making it up. He cannot work. His marine engineer son cannot shine. He's never. He's supposed to be standing where I'm standing. Who has ever seen him anywhere carry microphone? It cannot happen. The one with sickle cell can never be cured. The only person that anything evil will not happen to is Pastor Christy's children. Because Pastor Christy didn't do any evil. From day one till last, she's always supposed to. You know? Very loyal woman. So where did I come near her house? Or what exactly did I do wrong? for this man to do this kind of rubbish. Imagine if my life was hang around me. One thing about my life. One day I had to go and drop one paper for him at Golden Tulip or so, first tax side. He was with a handbag. His life is dirty and porous. I told him to his face. But the problem is he said all those things did not happen. He cannot clean the evidences. Again, I told you that Bernard said the daughter had the kids, the twins in his hand, were 4 months old and she was sleeping around like your father. What concerns me is that let her husband not hear. Let her husband not hear. I was calling him as a father to his children to go and clean his own mess. Idiot should have listened. If not, his information will not get into the hands of you or anybody. But when he was on, he said, oh boy, talk to his friend. But my problem with you is you told me not to go to the police because I would have had a first mover advantage. Just like you told your cousin or niece not to go to the police. You sold that house. But like I said, Yorubani amala katalo katoa fabo bediye. I allowed him to do all that he wanted to do. And I took my time to treat it, to rebuild myself. Today, when we finished at the hotel, I was there with Jamo, I was there with Captain Taiwo, I was there with Chijola Pama, I was there with everybody. I picked the microphone and I spoke in the hall. Everybody saw you did well this. I mean, I just cut whatever I wanted to say. Honorable Minister will continue Abuja next week. I saw my boss, Mrs. Followinshaw, my very first boss, and I'm still going to see her at home. So this is a woman of her own self. This is a woman of her own onions, who knows her onions. This is a woman who develops herself. If Greg was the one who developed me, I would not be able to live my life or do anything when we fought. So his life was nothing to me. But at the same time, he wants to use his personality to block me in the industry, telling me and him to sit in the front of his baby Sola Saraki, we'll iron out issue one by one. When we finish, we'll sit down before Honorable Linda and Senator Bintu. Women know. And then we will sit before the church. His pastor at King's Assembly. We come out, like I said, my own pastor, Edeko, and Winners pastor, they will come out. Because I've been listening to Paul Eneche. I'm thankful to the man who said women be speaking up. Because when Osinachi died, Frank Edwards and all those popular musicians came out and said this issue has been happening. But people said she should not touch, she should not touch. She will even be begging to keep everything quiet until she died. Complications inside. That's how he would have killed me. Physically, diabolically, all the things that he did. But the pastors that said we should speak out, I said, are you ready to handle the mess when people begin to speak out? Because everybody is talking about jihadists, they are talking about Muslims, they are talking about kidnappers, they are talking about herdsmen. Because they said they are Muslims, they said the evil in your own Christendom. Can you handle it if it comes out? Can the church point fingers and address these bastards like Greg, husband of a pastor? Or did anybody consult Pastor Christy to know what she was going through? That she was confiding in a driver. Another issue that I had to run to Greg. How can you say you are so whatever that your wife only found a driver to confide in? Is a sign of failure. Like I said, the amount of information that was in the hands of Bernard, there is no way any information about my life will be that outside. You know? So I said, Pastor Christy, I could call her by myself. I have access. I've always had that number. I didn't call her. Because calling her will be like, she's had enough for her to say she was leaving. I said, why did Pastor Christy leave? If she had endured this far, why now? Because if she was in the house, most of the things that they said was happening wouldn't have happened. But the only brutal people in my industry that wants to enter matter that does not matter, they say I'm the one that chased Pastor Christy. I say, sure you want to hear. If people were saying, even if now you go Kukuma take over the house going for better, because you are like Pastor Christy, gentle, you don't me, they train me in a very good house. We were not poor. We were not hustlers. You Nigerians are hustlers. Hustlers, everything about to you is how to destroy the other person. I'm not a fool for not living that way. I have a life. My father provided everything that I ever wanted. He's not rich, but books, Clothes every week is buying. Shoes every time is buying. Everything that I grew up and went to college as a teenager, I don't know that you can buy food outside. That I don't know how to price clothes. I be Ajabota proper. My father did everything for me. So there is no way. I didn't have the orientation of relying on penance. My father invested too much in my education for me to fail in life. That I had to rely. I just love my vehicle. I parked outside the club and they said some people from CBD came to carry it. Anyway, they just went to bring it back. So I had to stop the recording and return to it very quickly. So I wasn't dumb. I wasn't a stupid idiot who doesn't know how to keep secrets or keep quiet. Moreover, what did I gain from all the secret that I kept? Like I said, we would have continued to drag this issue underground. Nobody would know anything. There are certain things you heard from me that day. That was the first time you pleaded on his behalf that should please hold on to January. And I accepted. I went back to my home prayer. It's so stupid to think it's that important that I will run away to water for him. Was it not water that he and Pastor Christy came to come and see me inside Covenant University during the pregnancy rape issue? And I had to be covered because of numerics. You know? So I went to my church. Like I said, I was with my friends. They didn't hear anything from me. The girls at Swan were shocked when they knew that I know who's this sister. You know her. 1 year. So I kept, about 3-4 years that they've known me. I don't have any business in that office. Until he called me 6 a.m. I was in Kenaland. What's my schedule? Uze is going for NYSC. He needs a band right now. He's at the center of an event. I was in church. I just said, okay. Okay, didn't tell me I said, my church is 6 a.m. I leave by 8 a.m. I'll get back to you. I called a friend to drive me, a guy who drove me to and fro. Even at the meeting with Rotimi and Michi at a hotel, where I was fighting for my life, but the Hoku just came. Just trying to let you know, so why I don't come to your office, I don't tire. That was why I gave document to this Olori Buroko. Your friend had no input, one error in my work. Imagine me traveling to Abuja, paying for flight, paying for hotel, running after my work. Papa, sometimes bike, sometimes you leave your car. Then somebody claim because he has a name, he also want to come and steal. Do they have shame in Edo State? So I had to speak up, let people know. I have 4 cards in my hand. Grant Sakata, that was the man he went to brought us from NLNG to come and sit and present. Because he's done manpower placement and NLNG. Nobody can steal my work and they will go free with it. It will never work. That government will never work. And like I said, I have addressed the matter where necessary. See, I need to go and attend to my man. I beg. He's calling me. My phone is ringing. So they just brought my car, like I said. So I don't need to call you. But in case when investigation reach proper, I'll point it to this doctor. I'll bring out all my records. You were the one who gave me that misoprostol and gynecose. I kept that pack for years because I didn't know what happened. I was rolling before my mother. One blood came out of my body. I couldn't tell her what happened. If our family waged war, like I said, I have seen 40 years battle that we had to go and beg in certain quarters. I'm not 40 years old though. But message reach one place, they said so person has committed offense. The people they offended are died. I was the one who went to beg. 8 people still died. The person look at me and say, if I did not do Jujunko, a let down. So if I'm looking at him, tell him he doesn't have any big manpower. There are certain things that when they do it, even in his grave, 40 years, his children will still be paying. They will say, your father has offended somebody. Go to the grave to go and correct it. And it will still not work. His friend, Prince Olayi Wolashitu, wrote certain things in his book. And I will not say much. He has experience. And it's because there is nobody, like I said, my grandmother went to the grave with the kid. There is nobody that has a child that did anything against Rocket that will ever go free. If they go free for 10-20 years, they think it's free. They should not sleep. I am not who did it. They've tried to kill me inside my mother's pregnancy. They don't work. They try. They gave birth to me. They try to kill me. They know. The things that they have done over my head as a child, human being cannot kill me. Like I said, when they try to one level, their own children will begin to die suddenly. The arrows of their father will go back on the head of the children. So tell him to stop all those diabolical fight. He don't try, finish. You know, if he gets it, don't run back, go church. Tell him to come out physically, face to face. If his matter exposed before the industry, is because he think he can shame me. He's the one that should be shamed, not me. I have nothing to be ashamed of. I did not steal, I did not rape. If I sleep with any man, I'm a vagina. Now in they ashamed of rape. I sent the message to my Oga today for me for long show. I spoke to people that I needed to speak to, so many behind the scene. Now waiting happen with this. I know how to be quiet. Tell them say thunder go fire. In this industry, now me and him, with this remaining time, the only way for him is to come out to talk to me and correct all his errors one by one. He's not a mentor to anybody. He should go and be mentoring dogs and animals with no character, no value system, thieves, rapists like himself, not me. If you mentor me, I will say you are a mentor. Like I said, you say you are a mentor. Now mentor, you fuck up, you get belly. You bury the pregnancy and all that. Now mentor, you carry your wife go meet. He said he's a father, they will question him. He said his relationship. He even like say he buy me car, tell him he will bring out the receipt too, because all my 3 cars I have my receipts and the work that I did to buy them. But let's leave it there for now. I just want them to know that there is a doctor who is his enabler behind the scene and